What's up? What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? So every Sunday I go live. I'm supposed to go live at 6:30, but hey, today was a different day. I didn't eat, the baby, all of the above. I never take a break. I never take a day off. This is supposed to be my day off, but I never take it off anyway. However, I want to address a couple things. And I know some of y'all out here, you're just hanging out tonight. You don't got nothing to do. Just chilling on the couch. You're hanging out on the floor with your phone in your hand, about to fall on your face, but you listening. So we're going to have a quick conversation. And I know that some of this could be echo chamberish, but some of it could be validation of reality. So before I start this, somebody on my staff just showed me, and it's not released yet to the public. We just created a discount code for people shopping on the store. If you buy a shirt, you get a free mug. Any shirt purchase, you get a free mug. And the discount code is Kofefe. Just like Trump's little Kofefe thing. You put that in there, you'll get it. Nobody got the discount yet. We haven't even posted it, but if you somehow figured it out, you got it. When I say that it's all a lie, what I'm referring to is everything that has been said from the left is all a lie. And let me prove it to you. First and foremost, most coherent adults, and thank y'all for the super chat and make sure y'all hit the like button. Most coherent adults understand that systemic racism in America is a myth. Does racism exist in America? Of course it does. Systemic, that means that there's systems in place that have effects over a period of time, right? That means there's on a continuous basis of racism in institutions all around our country. And that's just not the case. It's not the case. We cannot point to any one institution that openly promotes racism. And let me say racism against black people, because I know institutions right now that openly promote racism against white people. However, racism against black people, there's no institution that I can name, that I can think of, that promotes racism, that allows racism openly, that have racism rooted in results. There is none. Thomas Sowell wrote a really good book called Disparities and Discrimination, or Discrimination and Disparities. That just because there's disparities that occur does not mean that that's because of discrimination. And I like to add on there, just because there's disparities doesn't mean that that's a result of discrimination or racism. There is disparities in all functions of our culture, every culture in the history of mankind. Even in your household, there's disparities between you and your siblings, between husband and wife. I mean, there's going to be disparities no matter where you turn. That does not mean that your husband is racist against you or prejudiced against you because you guys experience things differently. Or your children, one grew up to be successful, one grew up to be not successful or less successful. That doesn't mean that the parents are racist against their own kids or they are prejudiced against their own kids. It's just, research that Thomas Sowell did indicated that it's something about the firstborn child, that firstborn typically become more successful. That's just the way it is. So that could be a byproduct. That does not mean racism. 1 second, let me turn my fan on. Oops. That does not necessarily mean racism. When you talk about institutions like policing in America, I don't know what these people are evil. We're not even talking about the same thing, but in order to be a racist on the police department it blows my mind. Like, I'm shocked that there are racists on the police department, which I'm sure that there is some. It has to be. I mean, you can't. Some people in society are just dumb, and those dumb people apply for jobs and they get them. But I remember going through the process as a police officer And I cannot think of anything that would make me desire to be a cop if I was a racist. There's nothing a part of the process. Your everyday job, what you have to do for a living, is not conducive to being a racist. You fill out an application that's very impartial. You're either good or you're not good enough. Like, there is what they call it, automatic disqualifiers. Y'all barbecue my teeth. Automatic disqualifiers. So if you are somehow you smoke weed, but between a particular time you had an arrest record, whatever the case may be, automatically disqualify you no matter what color you are. However, as you begin to go along the process, you realize that you have to die and risk your life for other people that you don't know. And you don't get to just pick white people. And we all know how they treat police officers. Like, if you are a police officer and you shoot somebody, you're treated like a criminal. Whether you're justified or not, you're treated like a criminal. Let me grab a couple of these super chats real quick because I don't want them to go away like they did last time. Okay, let's see. I was wondering what to listen to tonight. Thank you for being you. I enjoy the show. I appreciate it. Stephen, the whole system needs to be dissolved. The federal government that is supposed to be a limited government is somehow the largest government in the world. Equal opportunity, equal outcome are polar opposites. 100%. In your opinion, what is Trump's next move? I don't know what Trump is going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. You know, I haven't even been really following what Trump has been doing, to be honest. I haven't really followed it. I've been worried about the commander-in-chief that's in the office right now. So that's what I've been really worried about. But yeah, equality and equity, or you say equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome, are incredibly different. I don't understand why any person would think it's fair or reasonable for people to have equality of outcome. I don't understand that philosophy, that tenet, that somehow the country, the government is supposed to guarantee you to have an equal outcome. You know, for every action, there's a reaction. Everybody know the laws of physics, right? And I believe I'm saying that right. For every action, there's a reaction. You put action to it, it sets something in motion. No action to it, gravity and whatever the case may be, will take it to its original state, which is still, not moving, stagnant, or whatever you want to call it. So if you think that somehow you put no effort into moving your life in motion, but you expect for your outcome to be way down the spectrum, you are fooling yourself. If your life starts here, you need to put action in to get your life to a certain point. That's just the way it is. If you don't put no action in, your life is going to stay right here or get worse, or other people are going to pass you. Those are things that I think that people need to understand when you're looking at equality for all people. It's that the government needs to move out of the way and give people opportunities. Let people have these free opportunities to do or to grow on their own merits. Just get out of their way is pretty much what should be said. Is that we don't need the government to be trying to be the arbiters of our success. Just get out of the way and let people who want to work, and let people who want to sit on the sideline, let them sit on the sideline. And don't take my money to pay for somebody that don't want to work. I see a guy every week. He must bus himself to this area because he don't live anywhere in this area. I guarantee, or he wouldn't be begging. So somehow they bust themselves into an area where they believe is the highest paying intersection in the Phoenix Valley, which is one of them. I mean, they probably bounce around the whole valley looking for the place where all the wealthy people live. And the guy sits there every day and begs. And I gave him money one time because I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I don't care what he do with the money. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between him and God. However, I also, when I'm driving around, I see that there's multiple places that are hiring. He looks like an able-bodied man. And if he's not able-bodied, he has a mental illness, there is disability and disability checks that people get all the time for being crazy. They call it the crazy check when I was growing up. People get paid all the time for being crazy. Or if you're poor or whatever, you get paid. There's money in that. People be acting like they disabled all the time. They act like they disabled all the time so that they can reap the benefits of the crazy check. Is what we call it, the crazy check. I don't know why this is not showing up. But, they reap the benefits of the crazy check. So if you got somebody running around talking about, I need money, but you're not attempting to get a job, I don't understand what your bargaining tool is. You know, there were people, little kids. The other day we were driving through the neighborhood, little kids selling water or golf balls. They were selling golf balls. It was right off a golf course, but they were selling golf balls to make a little money on the side. Why wouldn't this guy who's poor and sitting on the corner, why wouldn't he create value to sell to people so that he's not just begging, he's creating value? If he really sat there and begged on the corner, you know, if he sat there and begged on the corner and he got like $100 or something, he could go buy him a cooler, buy him a case of water, and he could upsell the water. People would give it to him. He'd be like, oh, he said, I got waters for you guys, you know, whatever you got, you know, donation of any amount, whatever. Or if you just give it away for free, whatever he does. And he could probably do a lot better off than what he's doing right now, which is sitting on there begging every day. But how is he supposed to have an equal outcome as me if he's begging and I got out and got a job? College degree or not, man, you can get a job somewhere. I see people without teeth look like they on a nod from heroin and they working at Circle K. Got a full job. They probably ain't gonna keep it, but they got a full job smoking heroin probably every day. Because they probably get the job so they can smoke heroin. But you got people sitting on the corner begging for nothing. Do establishment have the right to demand to see a vaccine card? Do you think they'll ever let us or let up so we can finally shop unmasked again? We refuse the jab. Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen is that if people start rebelling and saying, you know what, I'm not going to shop here. I don't have to disclose my medical history to you. Somebody said disability checks are hard to get. Well, I think if you are incredibly disabled, it's probably easier to get than if you just kind of off and you can still get your butt up and work. Not saying that that's what you're saying. I'm just giving my stance on it. Richard, thanks so much for the super chat. Fun fact: for every book sold by Officer Tatum, bring a tear to the liberals. This book will cause a tsunami of tears. Best book ever when it comes out. Richard, thanks so much. It will be the best book in the genre of policing that has ever been written. Stop thinking about the government as your leader. You are the master of your world. We are all supposed to be sovereign. Stephen, I agree with you. You know, you are the product of your efforts. And whatever you want out of life, you can get out of life if you put in the effort. And you may have to put in more effort than other people. However, the key is your path, not everybody else's. What is your path? What is your calling? Are you doing the best you can do? You know, you may not even have legs. You may be in wheelchair bound. So nobody's expect you to run a marathon in a wheelchair. However, what can you do with the circumstance that you've been given? And at the end of the day, let me say this. Let me speak this point. I used to have a guy on our team, and I'm not going to say his name. He was a walk-on. And I remember athletically, I was far more superior than he was athletically. The guy was nowhere near as athletic as me and most of the other people. That's kind of why he had to walk on, because he wasn't athletic enough. However, him being 50 or 60% less athletic than I was, when he would go to the workouts as a walk-on, think about this. I was a scholarship player, All-American coming out of high school into college. I ran a 4.3 and a 40. I was one of the fastest people on the football team. He was one of the slowest people on the football team. He had no scholarship, or at least no football scholarship. He probably had to pay for school or get student loans. You have me and him. And I remember one day, and he still don't know it to this day that this clicked in my mind. We used to have workouts, football workouts, spring workouts, morning workouts, whatever. We used to have workouts. And I remember he was considered a defensive back. We worked out in different groups. However, defensive backs all have the same qualifying times. When you have to run and do gasters, all that stuff, it's all equal. You don't get a pass because you're a defensive back. Defensive backs have to make it within this amount of time, right? I used to show up, I used to run a thing, and I'd be smoked. I mean, I'm literally feel like I want to quit. And then I think about him, and I say, he's putting more effort in than I am because he's way less talented than I am. He's not as fast or as athletic as I am. And he's not on full scholarship getting all you can eat food and clothes and stuff that we were getting as athletes. And he's still making it through the workouts. It made me realize that he was working harder than me because it wasn't that the time that we had was the same. The effort he had to put in was way more than the effort I had to put in for us to accomplish the same thing. So with that being said, and this is not about me bragging or anything, with that being said, this is why I think it's important for you as an individual to evaluate your effort. How much effort are you putting in? Are you maxing out your effort? Because that guy would never, no matter what he did, he could give 200% effort and he would never go faster than me. However, he had to give 110 to survive. I had to give 75, 80 to survive. And it's the same thing with life. You may be wealthy. You may have whatever. Are you putting in the effort to succeed as bad as other people are? And when I say other people are, meaning that are you doing the best that you can do, which will put you in the greatest position that you could possibly be in? I like to correct that because I don't want you to think that, I don't want people to think that, I don't want people to think that you need to compare to other people. I mean, you can observe what other people are doing to measure how hard you are working, but your efforts and energy need to be solely on you, the individual looking in the mirror. So let's see. Carolyn, thank you for the super chat. Hey, B. Tatum, respect for you. Tom McDonald just dropped Dear Slim this past Friday. He paid $100,000 for Eminem's beat. It's fire. I actually saw it. I actually watched it already. I saw it and I messaged him and said, bro, that's fire. However, I will do a review on Tom McDonald, and Bryson and Topher got a new video out. I think it's called Facts Over Feelings or something. I just got a clip of it and it's fire. I'm gonna do a review on that one. I got a couple videos that I'm gonna launch tomorrow because I'll be in Nashville tomorrow for business. So I got a couple things I'm gonna launch tomorrow while I'm out of town. However, back to the subject at hand, the reason that I'm saying the things that I'm saying is because I want to debunk the myth that people are disproportionately at a disadvantage. Let me explain another thing. Adversity is a good thing. If anybody is telling you that adversity is somehow a detriment to your growth, they are lying to you and they want you to fail. Adversity breeds success if you are willing to handle adversity well. If because you have adversity, you punk out and want to cry and throw in the towel, you're never going to be anybody. That's just the way it is. If you handle adversity, meaning that you take it head on, you push through it, you fight for what you want, you become what you deserve, then adversity has made you much better than somebody who didn't have adversity. That's why you see a lot of people that grew up in the hood or, these success stories. I was a mailman and I became a police officer or whatever. Not police officer, but I became an NFL player and I was a mailman. And it's like, dude, how do you come off the street and become an NFL player? It's because when the odds are against people that rise to the occasion, which is what we should be teaching people how to do, rise to the occasion, then they become uber successful. And when you start from nothing and you're able to accomplish a great amount of things, you appreciate them more. And a lot of times you do well with it. A lot of times. Not all the times. A lot of the times you do well with it. So to say that you are somehow at a disadvantage because you grew up in the hood, you're looking at the glass the wrong way. You're looking at it as half empty. I look at it as half full. I look at it when I was growing up in the environments that I grew up in, and we grew up in many environments. It wasn't just the hood or nothing like that. We wasn't poor. My mom and them, we weren't poor. But we did grow up in and around the hood our whole life. Our whole, childhood. So with that being said, I'm glad that I went through the things that I went through. I'm glad that I got arrested at 8 years old for smoking weed in a vacant house, because it really woke me up to getting in trouble and being a possibility we could have went to juvenile for a year, and thinking about being without my parents and like isolated in this little facility for a year was daunting to me, and it made me improve. It made me work harder. It made me do better. And I tell you this, here's another truth that nobody, I don't really talk about it. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. I don't really talk about this a lot, but this is a truth that I think is invaluable for me to say right now. When I was a freshman in high school, we lived with my dad, me and my brother, and we went to Crowley High School. Crowley, if you don't know nothing about Texas, Crowley is like the suburb of Fort Worth. I would call Crowley back then more rural, middle class. It was a middle class suburb. There were some rural areas, there were some poor areas. However, the way I remember it growing up, Crowley was a middle class type area. So we lived in a 5-bedroom, 2-story house with my dad. We went to Crowley High School. My brother was a sophomore, I was a junior, I was a freshman. We wanted opportunities because that school didn't afford us hardly any opportunities when it come to athletics. They were a new school. They didn't have no crazy athletes coming out. There was no recruiting. Nobody went to college out of that. Nobody went to a legit college out of that school. They didn't get a legit look. Some people did go to college. Trent Shelton, somebody know him. Y'all probably know him. I don't know if you know him. We call him T-Shell. He do like rehab time or whatever. He went to school with us. He went to Baylor. They had some other people go to places. However, my grandmother lived in the hood in Fort Worth at Paul Dunbar High School, near Paul Dunbar High School. So we had to move to be in the district. Long story short, we moved with my grandma to stay in the district. And my mama did stay in the area, and then we ended up moving to Arlington when I was a senior, when my brother went to college. However, we moved to the area, and it was a culture shock. Going to Crowley High School, when they first started, everything was new. It was fresh. They had a football stadium, powerlifting team. It was safe. Everything. We go to Dunbar, it was hood. Now, even when we were younger and we didn't have a lot of money, my mom and them still tried to pay to put us in really good schools. We were in the hood. I remember going to the locker room being like, dang, our locker room is trash. I remember going to the football field and being like, there is no even grass on this football. It's potholes. The track had dirt and rocks on it. We didn't even have a track. We didn't even have a weight room. You talking about going from Crowley High School with a powerlifting team, which we had all the equipment you need to have a successful powerlifting team. I think we won state. My brother won state, actually, when we were there. To a little hood school with a dirty parking lot. Desks was there when my mama went to that school. And I'm serious, my mama went to Dunbar High School. Whenever she was at the school, same desk was there when she was there. It was a mess. We had no weight room. We had nothing. However, after the first year and it all kind of sunk in, that adversity caused us to grind harder than anybody else because we didn't have nothing. And being where we could have had more, we decided because of athletics that we wanted to go down that path. But it made us incredibly grateful, and we worked hard. We had a chip on our shoulder. And we showed up to football games, and we were the underdogs. We were the forgotten. And we used to beat people down, except when we go play the white boys out in the middle of nowhere. And y'all think Friday night like that was real. It would really happen. So we go play Stephenville, and they beat us to a pulp. Now, before we got there, I think we were beating these teams. We almost made it to state. We almost won a state championship. But long story short, we had 9 D1 players and 4 All-Americans. And when I say All-Americans, U.S. Army All-Americans. That means 4 of us on one team were considered the top 78 player in the nation subsequent years in different positions. You know, Ernest Mason was the top wide receiver. DJ Davis, who rest his soul, he committed suicide not too long ago. DJ Davis was the All-American defensive back. He was an athlete. He played quarterback for us, but he was the top DB in the athlete in the nation. My brother was a DB, and then I was a safety. He was a corner, I was a safety. So we had all these All-Americans. Somebody said he used to live in Stephenville. That's exactly who beat us down in the first round, maybe first or second round of the playoffs. Stephenville. They beat us. They had us 43-0 at halftime. And we had all the athletes in the world. We had 9 D1 players, 4 All-Americans, and they beat us down. So that was bad. Anyway, we ran through these teams. We had a chip on our shoulder, and we were incredibly successful. It built character in me by having nothing. We had nothing. We were living in my grandma's house. My grandma's house, and it was our choice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and make up some lie disparaging my parents. It was our choice, but that's what we had to do to end up being successful. But grandma had a 2-bedroom house that if you took one wall out, the whole house is exposed. One wall, you got every room, a bathroom. It was a 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. I think our house is probably like 600, 700 square feet. We had a room where me and my brother had a bunk bed in there. And in my grandma's room, and then there's a bathroom with a tub and a sink and a toilet. Just narrow enough for you can squeeze through there. Then you walk around the corner. There's the kitchen there, sink. There's no dishwashers and stuff like that in there. The refrigerator, sink, microwave, oven right there. And then the door and then whatever. Granny house is little. And in one living area. And we lived there I think we had to live there for a year. Humble. That humble pie made us go after it. And I'm saying all this to say that adversity, when handled properly, will make you greater. And instead of us telling young people, instead of us telling young people to be victims and cry about their circumstances and, oh, your mama's on crack and you have a hard time in life, you tell them, point out that adversity, and that's the one you're going to attack, and it's going to make you better than everybody else who had a silver spoon in their mouth. Everybody else who daddy gave them everything in life. Well, your daddy didn't if you didn't have a daddy, you don't have a daddy. You didn't have that. So now you got to work harder than everybody else. And because you work harder, you're going to be better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have that, you got to grow, you got to grind harder. And grinding harder don't change because of somebody else. It don't change because of your living conditions. You grinding harder than this person, you're going to be better. That's just the way it was. And I wish that we would teach our young people these things instead of teaching them how to be punks and soft and crybabies and whining all the time. Oppression, white supremacy. It's just sickening to me that people do this stuff. All right, let me go down these super chats real quick. Individual effort needs to only benefit the individual. We need to be local community focused. I agree. James Brew, thanks so much for the super chat. Brian, please do not forget about Lil Pookie, Lil Ray Ray and them. I ain't forgetting about Lil Pookie, Lil Ray Ray and them. They still out there cutting up. Everyone here needs to read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Stop drifting. Yeah, I like Napoleon Hill. I got a book called Think and Grow Rich or Think and Grow Wealthy. It may be Think and Grow Rich. How do I not know that? And I read that book every time I travel. I think it's a good thing, and I think Napoleon Hill, it was written by Napoleon Hill, or it's a compilation of writers that were compilated and put together Napoleon Hill remake, whatever the case may be. It's a good book. Lincoln said, overcoming adversity wasn't the true test of character, but when they do what they do when they gain power or wealth, that shows who they really are. 100%. I do think that that's a true statement as well. David Goggins, I bought his book. I haven't read it though. A Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL, is the best speaker on how adversity is a blessing. I think he had a great story. Former convicted felon, came home from prison, studied, got a few licenses, and working on a pharmaceutical company. Hector, that's how you do it. Don't make no excuses. My girlfriend family found out I was a Trump supporter recently. They called and said I made them second thought everything the media said about Trump supporters, and they respect me more than ever. That is a story. I thought you was gonna say it went south, but they found out you was a Trump supporter and they saw your character and who you were, and they had to rethink it. That's great. That's great. Loretto, why do so many people get equal opportunity why do so many people get equal opportunity confused with equal outcome? Well, I don't think they're confused. I think that they want equal outcome without doing equal work. You know, they want an equal outcome. They don't want to work. What do you mean? I think people really think they deserve for you to give them something. What you mean somebody's parent worked hard and saved money to put their kids through college, and your parent dropped the ball? You think that society owes you? Your parent is the problem, not somebody else's parent. If your parent was working hard, they could pay for you to go to school. Your parent didn't do it. So what do? You pay for yourself to go to school or don't go. Nobody owe you anything. Nobody owe you anything in life ever, man. Life ain't gonna be fair. Life is not gonna be fair. It's just not. But you better do the best with what you got. Big government cannot coexist with big people. We the right believe, and now that big people means self-thinkers who know our elected officials should only act as representatives and not dictators. 100%. These people don't run us, man. We actually run them. They are elected officials. They're not gods. Brandon, did you see Tom McDonald dropped a new song, Eminem? Yep, seen it. I'm going to do a review on it for tomorrow after this. Oppression does exist. It's called stupidity. Oppression is, the definition of oppression is your bad decision making or your parents' bad decision making. One of the two. Either way it go, you may be in a bad spot. And if you don't make good decisions to get out of it, you're going to be in a bad spot, and then you will be oppressed. Let me do something real quick while I got y'all on here. For those who like to shop on the Officer Tatum store, I gave a discount code of Kofefe. If you want to if buy a shirt, you get a free mug, Kofefe. However, I'm going to give y'all a bigger discount code just because I feel like it. We're going to do a bigger discount code real quick, and then we're going to get back to the subject hand. If you are shopping on the Tatum store, and the discount code works for everything on the store. I'm just saying, everything on the store. It works for everything on the store. And if people that know what I'm saying, know what I'm saying. So if you want to use that for whatever you want on the store, then do it. I'll create a code real quick. It's called No Excuses. Let's see. One word. No excuses. Excuses, right? Not excuse, but no excuses. We'll give you 25. One use per customer. 25% off. No excuses. On the Officer Tatum store. 25% off. That's it. If you're interested, go do it. If you're not, it's all good. Let's see. 10-year-old shot in Minneapolis in critical condition. Please pray for her. 19 kids have been shot in Minneapolis this year. In Minneapolis. I mean, nobody's gonna talk about it. They ain't gonna get no T-shirts or nothing. They're not gonna make the news. Nothing. Poor white girl grew up in the hood. Color doesn't care about being broke. Father in and out of jail. Pay my way through master's degree via military. This is one thing I don't understand. See, that's why I feel like I need to be like a motivational speaker. I'm kind of a motivational speaker because I do motivational speaking when I'm supposed to speak about politics. I rather deviate to using my story to motivate other people or encourage them. However, I want to go into these inner cities and motivate people and don't let them teach your kids critical race theory and all of that foolishness. But teach your kids how to be warriors. Teach them how to win. You're not going to be able to change that your mama a crackhead or that your daddy in prison or he dead, he a gang. You can't change that. What you can change is how you react to that. You can change what do you want your trajectory to be. Quit making excuses about the boogie white man. Oppression, systemic racism. You can't change it. You ain't going to change it tomorrow either. So and you ain't going to change it in the next 5 years. Even if there was systemic racism, you can't change it in the next 5 years. So what are you going to do about it? I woke up one day from dreaming. I was dreaming God was dealing with me in my sleep. And I woke up and the thing that came to my heart was, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? That's like my motto. Now I got to make a shirt. What are you going to do about it? Nobody cares. Like, you got one leg. You're an amputee from the military. You ain't going to grow a leg back. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit around and mope and do all that? No, you're not. You're going to step up and you're going to make the best of it. I've had adversities in my life and I know that there will be some to come. What are you going to do about it? I need to have a wristband and say, what are you going to do about it? You know, like, what would Jesus do? What are you going to do about it? You know, my marriage is falling apart. Well, what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to fix it just talking. What are you going to do? What are your actionable steps? Are you going to go to counseling? Are you going to be a man and apologize and say that you were wrong? What are you going to do about it? If you got a, issue with baby mama drama or whatever the case, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go to court? Are you going to do what you got to do? Or are you going to keep complaining about it? Don't complain about it if you ain't going to do nothing about it. That's my dad. My dad used to always say, don't complain about it if you ain't going to do nothing about it. Don't complain. What are you going to do? Thanks for speaking the truth, brother. I'm a current Fort Worth officer. If you're ever in town, I got you. Andre, I gotta link up with you, bro. You know, I'm from funky town. Born and raised, funky town. Went to Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. I don't know what division you work in, but my granny stayed right in the Mill and Berry area. We used to stay off of Maceo at one point in time. Maceo. I think it's Maceo. My auntie, I don't know how long you was a cop, but if you were a cop for several years, a long time, you would know my auntie died in a house fire in that same little area. But anyway, let's see. B, what do you think about the Army guy writing a book about woke and how the military is becoming Marxist? Scary as heck. I need to find that book. I don't know what's the name of it. I would love to read it because it's true. Hey, Brandon, Nigel Farage is going to be appearing in Phoenix on May the 25th. Not sure if you knew or if would consider going. It would be great to see the leader of Brexit meet the leader of Blexit. That would be cool. I know that Candace is really good friends with Nigel Farage. I know that they're really good friends, and so they may end up coming here to say what's up or whatever. But I'll check on that. The 25th. Okay. You are a wealth of valuable and important information. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because thou hast rejected knowledge. God bless Clemente Sosa. That must be your name, Clemente Sosa. I appreciate it, brother. I'm working my butt off doing 56 hours a week at a label factory, and I'm tired of hearing about white privilege from leftists. I love listening to your videos on my way to work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Would love to see you do a collaboration with Kevin Samuel. Everybody keeps saying Kevin Samuel. I like that dude, man. Like, I ain't gonna even lie. I be watching this stuff and be learning stuff, man. He be making me, man. I don't know. I don't know what people's real stuff be. I don't know if they real or not. I like that dude though, and like he be making me think about me as a man, and like I need to step my game up and be. Even though I'm married, I'm not single, but I want to be the best man for my wife. Therefore, I'm always competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, my wife don't get to a point one day where I'm chopped liver, where I'm like, she probably won't leave me, but you know, what's the point of, you know, doing her like that? I need to be competitive. You know, it really makes me want to work out more and get in shape. You know, I kind of got myself out of shape a little bit, and I want to get, not a little bit, a lot of bit. You know, I still got some muscle here because I'm just genetically gifted. You know, so I look like I haven't worked out and I haven't lifted the weights in years. So, you know, people see me and I look big, you know. I used to ride my bike a lot and I got really skinny. So my cardio game was good. I'm still incredibly strong because I was an incredible athlete. Like a freak of nature. You know, I could go right now and go to the gym and probably hit 315 on bench, and I haven't bench pressed in years. However, I do want to be the best version of myself. While I'm telling you guys that, I want to do it as well. And I need to set some goals. You know, I got there's a conference that I'm speaking at in Denver, Colorado, June 18th and 19th, I believe. It's going to be a big conference. I'm the keynote speaker. When we get more flyers and stuff, I'll let you guys know. I'm the keynote speaker there, and I want to lose weight before I get there because it's just my goal. I want to lose a little weight before I go there. Anyway, that's just me. That's me being real. But I may link up with Kevin Samuel, man. I like that dude. If you follow him, you should tell him, like, B. Tatum is like your content. If you had to pick who has more brain cells, AOC or Biden, I think AOC has more brain cells, and Joe Biden's actions is a reflection of what AOC's brain cells look like. Officer Tatum, you're the best. I appreciate it. Excellence in recycling. Let's see. Yes, do a video on setting goals. There's so much. Let me tell y'all something. There's so many things that I want to do, but I need y'all's help, right? I need your help. I got so many different, like, people may not understand that, like, YouTube is not like the only thing that I do. You know, I am the CEO of 4 companies right now, and 2 of them are incredibly successful, and one of them is marginally successful. I mean, it's okay. It's 2 of them. So the other 2, so 2 are doing great, 2 are decent. No, 1 is decent, and the 2 are kind of like starting up. They're kind of like startups. And so I do a lot of stuff. I like talking about politics and stuff like that because I'm passionate about just about everything. I'm passionate just about everything I do, right? However, I would love to talk about different things, and I just wonder, should I create different channels? Because right now I have this channel. I do politics, do my little clips. I created a new channel. So if you guys want to go follow it, I mean, I hope you go follow it. You know, everybody that follow this channel should follow that channel. It's just clips of this channel. So if you can't watch the whole 20-minute clip, we break all my videos up into little usable clips, and it's called Tatum Clips. And you can go subscribe to that channel. Hopefully we get somebody to put it in the description section or something like that so they can get it. Sky or somebody, if you can. If not, on the replay, we'll have it in there. But it's called Tatum Clips. And little clips of this. So you can go subscribe to that channel. I also was going to do a podcast, like a real podcast, not just me doing this on Sundays or whatever, but like a real podcast that I was going to have on podcast channels. I tried to do it already. That's why I got the intro song and everything. And I wanted to do a podcast. And so I was going to create another channel just for the podcast. And I wanted to do police encounters and interactions where I just go through all these police body-worn cameras and I explain what has happened in these situations, which is another channel. I wanted Corinne and I to make a relationship channel where we talk about relationships and stuff like that. And that'd be another channel. And then, you know, for my motivation and business expertise, I wanted to share that on another channel. The question is, should I be having all these channels? Because it's hard, because some people want to see politics, and if I get on here talking about motivation and stuff like that, it may turn people off. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to look at your comments in the comment section. Should I make multiple channels, or should I do it all on one channel? Let's see. Keith Neal says, hey, brother, I love your channel, and I'm a federal officer with DHS. I don't encounter exactly what officers on the streets go through. I agree with some of your points, but not all of them. Keep educating and influencing. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the love. And unless I'm Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I don't even agree with everything Jesus be saying, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You know, I don't agree with everything in the Bible. When I say agree, meaning that I don't like that it's said. I don't like the way it's put. I don't like the reality of it. That's my expression of agreeing. So there's things in the Bible I don't even want to accept because of the gravity of it. And so people are not going to always accept what I say, even if it may be facts. The presentation of it may be something that people disagree, or whatever the case may be. The fact, maybe somebody see it from a different lens. Maybe that was a bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying. Let's see. When you hear of a water crisis, after that is a food crisis due to the weather crisis. I know, right? Hey, that's stupid. Can we get an update on the energy drink? So the energy drink, it's expensive. I almost want to do a GoFundMe to fund the energy drink, but I got to come out of pocket. Me and my business partner got to come out of pocket. Obviously, we probably have to get a business loan because it's going to blow up. However, energy drink, I can give you a few hints. I can't tell you what the recipe is, obviously, because we don't want nobody to steal our stuff before we even have it out. But our energy drink is not even in the same category as these other. We're in another world. We will revolutionize energy drinks as you know it. That's what we're going to do. I don't even think it's not a goal. That's what's going to happen. What we're doing in our energy drink is just different than everybody else. You know, you can't go to the store right now and find an energy drink that's certified organic, vegan, kosher. I mean, you go down the list, certified energy drink. And I'll tell you what, when we were formulating it, we said our goal is to be healthy, is our number one goal, to be the healthiest energy drink that we can possibly create. No carbs, no artificial sweeteners, no none of that. I think one of our drinks may have a few carbs, and it's maybe 2, 3. And it's because it's naturally occurring in whatever our ingredient is. However, in general, one of our energy drinks have 0 carbs. So how do you get to that point? But you got to be good. You got to be competitive in the taste. So you got to be competitive in the taste. So we formulated it, and it is the best energy drink I've ever tasted in my life. And for us to be able to accomplish the success of healthy, no artificial stuff, all that bull crap that they give you, and people have heart attacks all the time, or they blood pressure out of the roof for drinking that stuff, it don't have none of that stuff. But to do that and have a great taste, everybody that has sampled it, we've given samples to our family, our friends, everybody that has sampled it said it is an amazing taste. It has an amazing taste. And so we're going to change the game. Now, our goal is to launch. I don't want to say it, but our goal is to launch somewhere around August, which is going to come out before my book. That's our goal. We're fighting for it. God has really been giving us, grace all along the way. And here's the thing that I think that a lot of you guys are going to like, because you're never going to see this in the mainstream, is that we honor God in our bottles. I'm just going to say that. We honor God in our bottle, in our energy drink. We honor God. I'll just say it like this. Every person that has our energy drink in their hand will have an opportunity to know God better. That's the best way to put it. And not hidden. You're not going to know God better in a hidden way where you got to look and do a gloss over. It's right in front of you, because we believe in putting God first. Me and my business partner are both Christians. We both served. He served in the military. I served as a police officer. It's going to be great, man. And here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen, but I had a feeling in my heart that we should do it. Me and my business partner, we thought about it at the same time, and we said, let's do this. Let's do it. No matter how long it takes, no matter how much it costs, we're going to do it. Somebody said Monster Energy has satanic stuff to it. I saw a video where it showed that Monster Energy had satanic stuff to it, but I don't know that to be intentional or true, but it's suspicious. And that's the opposite of what we're doing. We're honoring God in what we do. And we're honoring God in what we do. Somebody said energy drinks are a ripoff. Yeah, well, not ours. Somebody said, will the energy drink say proudly made in America? 100%. Proud. I can't tell you where our bottling, and I don't want to give our stuff away. However, we will have an American flag on our bottles, proud to be made in America. Proud to be made in America. All of it is made in America. All right, let's see. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. Somebody said the world is on fire, not thinking about an energy drink. Well, let's think about this for a minute. I want the people to put this in perspective. For that person that said that, I know it's not a representation of what most people say. The world is on fire. Nobody's thinking about an energy drink. Last year, I think Monster, the energy drink business in general, made over $20 billion $16 billion of revenue. I think more than that. I think Monster had like $6 billion of revenue. People are for sure going to drink energy drinks. One of our SKUs is without caffeine, one has caffeine. But energy drinks are for sure. Now, how do you support a burning world with an energy drink? Is that you create value enough where people purchase it, and they have you have a purpose in it. And our energy drink company does more than just give you an energy drink, right? We support, we always going to be supportive of law enforcement, but we have enough revenue to go out and make a difference in the community. We don't have to just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We can actually make a difference. Now, while people are saying nobody's worried about energy drinks, Monster is selling billions of dollars worth of energy drinks. And people that think that, they sit back and do nothing. And, people have said that allegedly that Monster is representing the devil and satanic whatever. And I'm going to be honest, I've tasted Monster energy drinks, and they're nowhere near as good as ours, which is a blessing to me, because thank God, because we wouldn't be competitive if we couldn't even taste better than Monster. We wouldn't even be competitive at all. And I wouldn't waste my money in formulating nothing that wouldn't be, top notch. Let's see. Yeah. Somebody say, it's funny because as we start to release the drink, I want to do a survey. If anybody can guess what the label, what is presented on the label, that'd be funny. God is the energy, man. He's with you. So am I. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Let's see. 2 channels. I got multiple channels. I'm thinking I got 5 channels. Let's see. I'll buy one. As soon as it's available, I'm gonna have it ready for y'all, and then we'll get in the stores, and then we'll do all of that stuff. It's gonna be a blessing, man. I'm excited about the energy drink. I can't wait till we get it done so I can have them. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we need other people to buy them because we stockpiled. I don't know how many of them, in our first initial run. I can't drink all of them. It'll take me probably 100 years. Somebody said I thought it was Rockstar Energy now Monster is the one. I never heard about Rockstar, but I heard Monster was the one. It's hitting the like button part. Let's see. Is hitting the like button part way through sufficient for you to get paid? Heard you have to watch all and hit it at the end for it to count. No, it's not that way. I mean, me getting paid is when people click on the advertisement. That's pretty much what it is. So the more eyes that are in front of the advertisement and the more clicks is how the channel gets paid. You hitting the like button is promoting the channel, it's giving it breath, and it's really pushing it to people that follow me. It's not really pushing it to like foreign people or strangers as much. It's really letting YouTube know that this video is popular enough to keep sharing it to the people that should already be seeing it. Because I got 1.6 million subscribers. We should have 500,000-600,000 people on here live. But you know, you gotta pay big money for stuff like that. Different channels, different days. That's an excellent idea. Okay. Monster is true. The logo is satanic. My film teacher told me the monster slash is Hebrew letters for 666. But you know what? Even with that being said, Christians still gonna drink it. But we're trying to give you an alternative, right? And not only an alternative to that, if you're a Mormon or you're somebody that don't want caffeine, we have a non-caffeinated version where no added caffeine. So we add caffeine, 200 some, I can't remember how many, 200 some milligrams. I think we put caffeine in the first one, and then the second one we don't add the different SKUs. We don't add any caffeine to it, so it's no added caffeine at all. So you're just the nootropics that we have in there will give you natural energy versus natural energy plus caffeinated, organic caffeinated energy. So that's kind of how we do it. All right, let's see. Bible Bird. You know, it's funny because I want to have, anyway. Are you familiar with the Black Manosphere? Kevin Samuel is a part of it, and you have a lot of support from the base on the way you think. Yeah, I've heard of that. I think I've heard of a couple guys, and I think I was on a live stream, if that's the same thing. Could you tell us the name of the drink? I can't disclose it yet. I can't tell you the name of the drink yet. I gotta wait. So I think you should stick to the Tatum show. Keep it real. Don't offspring your show. Okay. Create another channel and change the channel up weekly and talk about all things. Okay. Please don't sell snake oil. You are losing my trust. Oh, I almost cussed. Please don't sell snake oil. You are losing my trust. You ain't never follow. You can't follow me. Let me just say this real quick. You know how much stuff we had to go through to get an energy drink? Like, you know how much money I've had to spend on an energy drink just to get it to production, just to get it to where we are today, and we're still a few months out. You know how much money I've had to put into this? You know how much time and energy and tasting we had to do to make sure it tastes right, make sure the ingredients were right, make sure my wife is diabetic. We will make sure that it's not, harsh or bad for diabetics. It's not going to have any reaction. That's why we eliminated all carbs from at least one of our SKUs, but it was impossible with our second SKU. However, it's only a few carbs. I think it's like maybe 2 or 3, if that. But we made it, keto friendly. I mean, you can go down the list. So we did all that. Ain't no way in the world I'm selling snake oil. You can buy my merch. Look at this shirt. Look at the shirt. This is good quality material. And we trying to upgrade this material. But the thing is that this is made in America. I had a shirt that was made in Honduras that was the softest shirt I've ever felt. And I said, because somebody sent it to me, and I said, I might upgrade, because I think some people may not like it. I think it's a little softer than this. This was light. This is breathable, stretchy. It's a really good quality shirt. The one from Honduras is really thick. It's thick, but it's really soft. I mean, that shirt people could sell that shirt for $100. However, it's made in Honduras. So this was the best quality made in America shirt that I could find. Best quality made in America shirt I could find. So I don't do no snake oil salesman stuff. Why would you do that, Brandon? Because I don't need to sell you snake oil. I don't need to. I'm good. To be honest, I don't even need an energy drink. I make good enough money. I don't need to deceive anybody. However, selling snake oil, it will get you a couple $1 million maybe. You do something real, you can make billions. You understand? Somebody want to buy us out, which I don't know if we'll sell, but some of these major energy drink companies may want to buy us out. Not energy drink company, maybe one of these big corporations will buy us out for $6 billion. Yeah, I might for a couple billion, I'll sign it. But if you make snake oil, you ain't gonna make no real money. If you make real stuff, quality stuff for people, even if it never get anywhere, you still can say we did it, we made it, we tasted it, it's real. We were at the lab, we were in there. The lady had the lab coat on, she was pouring her stuff, testing it. We developed it right there on the spot. Of course, it took a while for us to get there, but then we fine-tuned it right there on the spot, and it came out well. Anyway, I just had to make a quick rebuttal. Let's see. Leave it at one channel. Snake oil. Yeah, man, ain't nobody. Boy, I wish it was snake oil. Boy, we dropping Bitcoin on that stuff. Let's see. Please review Sheesh Moon token. I don't know. Tatum, you just do you. I only know how to do me, man. I only know how to do me. But I think that if people were skeptical, you should know. And make energy drinks great again. That's probably going to be some apparel that we have for our energy drink. That'll be funny. Let's see. Stop. Stop knocking the man with ideas. Yeah, I'm not really worried about these people. Back to Blue Energy. Why are so many people dissing Tatum? ? Ain't nobody dissing, man. Ain't nobody dissing me. If you dissing me in the comments, you dissing yourself. You on a man. You on a man's channel that got 1.6 something million subscribers. You're not hurting me with one or two little crybaby comments. It doesn't really hurt me. Let's see. Your store didn't take of the, I don't know what that means. B Tatum dominates. That's right. Your store didn't take the 20% off at checkout. Of what discount code are you referring to? Let's see. Well, 6 people. Well, nobody got. Buy one, get one free is the Kofefe. Buy one, get one free. The 25% off is no excuses. 6 people used it successfully so far. 6 people used it successfully. So it may be a user error if you can't figure it out. Let's see. And if you didn't get a discount and you wanted to get the discount, if you put the right discount in, we will compensate you on the back end. Just hit customer service and say, hey, I didn't get a discount. I don't understand how that's possible if 6 people got it. So if you didn't, maybe you're doing something wrong. If you've done all you can do and it still didn't work, then we'll just hit customer service at support at the Officer Tatum store, and we'll refund you the 20% or whatever. Where you get your book in audio, once the editing is done to the book, all the grammatical errors and all the stuff that I'm sure I have in the book. Once all that is found out, we have the final manuscript. Thanks, Guy. I will do a audio version of my book, but that's going to take a little bit, but we got a lot of time. Will the discount amount roll over? I'm not really sure what you mean, Sarah. I was going through my email and shopped from there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you shopped something and it expired. You just gotta let us know. Screenshot what you see, what evidence you have that you believe that you put in the right discount code. It didn't work. Send us a couple screenshots. We not penny pinching people. You know what I'm saying? Like we will support you. If you're a customer of mine, we'll take care of you. We're not gonna penny pinch people. Like if the thing said 20% off, we will make sure that we refund you 20% of your purchase, not including the shipping and handling, but it'll be of the actual thing. Why aren't red states banning critical race theory? There are some red states that have banned critical race theory, but I think that we got to keep fighting to get it banned all over the country. It should be federally banned, to be honest. If Trump was in office, he'd probably ban it federally. Somebody said energy drinks are legal drugs. Drink water. I disagree. Well, I disagree with our energy drink, but somebody else's. It'll be. I think somebody asked, what will the price be? We still negotiating what the price is going to be, but we're going to make it competitive. It's not going to be. You should pay way more for our energy drink than these other people that's putting poison in there, potentially, allegedly. But we're going to make it reasonable to where we want you to be affordable, where you can buy one every day. If the common folk can buy our energy drink every day, and that'll be good enough for us. We're not going to hike it up too high. It's the B Tatum drink. Need to call Wake Up America. Let's see. CRT is absolutely stupid. Yeah, Critical Race Theory is the dumbest thing on planet Earth. Let's see. Brandon, are you hiring employees for any of your companies? We hiring writers. I think we got writers. I don't think we closed the hiring process for writers. So if you go to Tatum Report, or if you go to my website, you go to careers, and you'll see the application for writers for Tatum Report right now. However, as we grow, we're going to expand in a lot of areas. And so if we have job applications, we'll put it on here. So you will know if we have a job application, we'll put it on here, or you will see it flashed on some of my social media. If we have, but we will be hiring people. We got the writers. Like I said, as God keep blessing, we keep expanding. We're going to keep hiring. I've hired at least 2 people. They're directors for me. They're in high positions for me. I've hired at least 2 people that have been supporters of mine on the YouTube channel, that I met them through on the YouTube channel. And I've hired them to be 2, pretty significant positions in my empire. I could call it empire. In one of my companies, so 2 of my companies. So one is a director of Tatum Report, and the other one is a manager of all of my companies, plus overseeing our community outreach, or our community, our Tatum Squad community. So it's opportunities, man. I'm always looking for talented people. As they open up, I'll let you know. But just know it gets very competitive because there's so many people on here looking for opportunities. Hey, Tatum, what's your take on Chris Rock Saw movie? It's about bad police officers. I haven't seen it. Haven't heard about it. I'll look into it. Hey, B. Tatum, are there going to be multiple flavors for the energy drink? Yep. Right now we starting with 2 flavors. 2 flavors. When we get closer, I'll tell you what they are, but it's 2 flavors. One is caffeinated. One is no added caffeine. So one is added caffeine. One is no added caffeine. So if you're a Mormon, I like to say Mormons because I know a lot of my Mormon friends can't consume caffeine. They can't drink caffeinated drinks. So one of the reasons why we decaffeinated one of them was so that it can, a wide range of people can have access to it. And then as we grow, we can do more flavors and more variations. But we wanted to at least start out and give you a taste of non-caffeinated, caffeinated, different flavors, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. I'm excited about this energy drink. It's probably I'm about as excited as my book. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. Like this could be crazy. Like I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait to drink it myself. I was drinking it every show. I would buy your energy drink, Big OT. Yeah, man, you ain't gonna get no bull crap, man. We went through it. We made sure it's legit, certified. It's certified organic. It's not. We not on the bottle saying this is organic. No, it's certified. We got the certification. We had to pay for that. You have to pay to get the certain ingredients to be eligible for a certification. You have to have these certified ingredients. You have to pay for a certification, and we got a bunch of them. So it's legit. Too legit to quit. Anyway, let's see. Tatum volunteer to help work from home without pay. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm a capitalist, so you work, you get paid. I don't expect anybody to volunteer at this point. If you want to, that's great. If you work for me and it's for profit, a for-profit company, we're gonna pay you something. Not unless you just don't want to get paid. Now, I've had people that do tremendous stuff and refuse to let me pay them, but that's a one-off. As a Mormon, indeed, energy drinks for me. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That's what we thought. We were like, okay, if we make one not caffeinated, then we can win over people who don't like caffeine, and we'll see how that goes. How's the baby doing? He's sleeping like a beauty. I think he almost slept through the night last night. Now, my beautiful, wonderful, incredible wife watches him every night, which is great for me. I'm blessed that my wife stays up and sleeps with him every night. We tried it at the beginning with both of us, and that wasn't. I quit a long time ago. I couldn't function because I didn't get no sleep and I work all day. I couldn't function. Let's see. Let's read these super chat. I wish there was a better way to communicate through questions on here. It'd be great. It'd be fun if I could communicate through questions on here. Have you ever been swatted? No, I haven't. Thank God. I know ABL got swatted one time, which is crazy to me. But I think the police officers in this area know who I am and they know where I live because a couple of them came by and said, what's up? One of them I used to work with in Tucson. So they already know who I am. So if they get a call at this house of something like that, I think that they'll be more, skeptical, like, he may be getting swatted. I mostly drink sugar-free. Somebody said mostly drink sugar-free Monster. Yeah, but a lot of those drinks got a whole bunch of stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be sugar-free, but it got all kinds of crazy stuff in it. What happened with you in the NFL? That's a great question, man. I was a great football player going into college, and my college career sucked, man. I just, it's like one of those things. You have a guy that comes in, high expectations, the greatest athlete that has ever probably played college football. I think I'm probably one of the greatest athletic people that have played college football. Numbers-wise, like when you talk about speed, I wasn't the fastest to ever play, but I'm talking about numbers-wise. When you add quickness, strength, athleticism, horizontal, movement, jumping. I'm probably nobody in college football has ever been as good as me. Maybe my brother is close. So I was probably one of the greatest football players to enter into college football. Now, some people may not believe what I'm saying. I got record of it. I got to find the article. Let me see if I can find this article. Let's see. There was an article that was written about me. There was an article that was written about me. Let's see. When I was a football player. I gotta find it, but there was an article written about me. I thought I saved it somewhere. It's probably somewhere that had my freakish athletic abilities there. And I ran a 4.3 and a 40. I had a 42.5-inch vertical leap. I jumped 11.7 on a broad jump. I did the bench press 18 times, which at the time was better than every NFL player at the combine. But except I had just got out of high school. I was 18-year-old just out of high school, and I put up those numbers that were better than NFL players. However, my career just sucked, man. I had to say it was a bad fit for me being in that college environment. I was immature. I didn't handle coaching well, and the coaches were a-holes. So it was just beef. I ended up getting injured my redshirt sophomore year. I mean, my sophomore year, my true sophomore year, and then I ended up having a medical redshirt. And then my last year, I left the team after the third game because let me tell you how crazy these people were. It's a kid named Robert Golden that used to play safety for us, and I don't think he was very good. He played in the NFL, but if you be honest, some of that stuff is political, whatever, but he wasn't that good. And the other guy name was Cam Nelson. To me, he was super trash. And so they had these two trashy players. We played against Iowa. We got our butts handed to us. And the coach, coach had me on the bench. I'm better than these guys leaps and bounds. Me and the other guy who was second string behind them. I have no idea why me and Pert didn't start when we were far better than them. But they had some plan that they had going. We're in the film room, and they cuss you out and call you all kind of stuff, your mama. They say all kind of crazy stuff to you. We're watching the film, and the coach was so adamant in covering up the bad play of these people that they're trying to protect because they can't not protect them because then they have to play the other people who are better. And I can go through a list of people that they screwed at that school. That's why they got fired and we lost almost all our games. And I don't know why they would even do that when you get fired when you lose games. Why would you put yourself in a position to lose games? The dude, Robert Golden, whiffed the guy, just flat out whiffed the guy in open field. 50-yard run. I think somebody caught him at the 1-yard line. I have never seen this in the history of college football. I have never seen our coaches do this ever. They MF you the whole film, cussing and screaming at people in the thing. They playing the film. We get to the play where Robert Golden missed the tackle and he go 50 yards. And he skipped it in front of the entire defense. He skipped the play like it didn't happen. They go through the plays, play. He skipped over the play in front of the team. And I said, you know what? I'm leaving. I can't play for this. I can't play for these coaches anymore. They didn't have me on the bench when I was, in my opinion, I was the best player. I was one of the best players. I should have been playing on the football field because of Eric, us bumping heads. They didn't never want to play me. So that's no here nor there. I stuck it into my 5th year, by far better than the guys on the field. And it wasn't just me. It was other people who was better than other guys who were playing, but they decided to be favorites. I'll give you an example. Nick Foles, and y'all know Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. They had Nick Foles as a second-string quarterback behind some other kid. And the only reason they put Nick Foles in to start was because this kid was losing. We were getting killed. He was throwing interceptions. He sucked. And I think he kind of got hurt. So they put Nick Foles in a little bit with him. Nick Foles, everybody on the team knew Nick Foles was by far the best quarterback on the team. Everybody knew it. For some reason, the coaches were playing favorites with another guy who clearly isn't playing in the NFL right now. And they had Nick on the bench. And the whole team is looking like, what do you got? What are they paying you to put guys in the game that are not good? And eventually they played Nick Foles and they got fired because we were losing. And then Nick Foles go on to get drafted and he won the Super Bowl, which I could have told you he was going to win the Super Bowl in practice. Yeah, I did play with Gronkowski. I covered him every day in practice just about because he was tight end. I'm a safety. And so I had to cover Gronkowski in practice. He was a beast. I'm not going to lie. He was the best player on the team as far as physicality. He was. I mean, you could clearly see. It ain't that hard to see what he's producing in the NFL. They had another guy named Lewis Holmes. Now, Lewis Holmes was JUCO #1 player in the nation, junior college #1 player in the nation. The dude was a beast. He was the most beastly dude I've ever seen sitting on the bench. He made him mad one day. He's sitting on the bench. We had a player named Chris Henry. Chris Henry was 6 foot. I think Chris Henry probably was a better athlete than me, maybe. Chris Henry was 6 foot, 230 pounds, ran a 4.3 and a 40. He actually beat Adrian Peterson at the NFL Combine. He bench pressed 500 pounds. He sat on the bench his freshman year. I mean, he played a little bit, but freshman year, sophomore year, he ended up redshirting at some point. He was a redshirt junior. As talented as he was, he only played 4 games. His entire football career at the University of Arizona, he played 4 games. He got drafted in the 2nd round. They had the boy on the bench. He got in 4 games and got drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the 2nd round. They used to do the dumbest stuff ever, and we would just lose and lose and lose and lose. And people would think that that I'm just making this up. Like, oh, Brandon was mad because he didn't play. I tell you, let's get back to the NFL thing for me. I quit the team after the 3rd game. I didn't have no real film. I played a couple special teams here and there. I had no film. The Oakland Raiders still was going to draft me as their only safety in 2010. The Oakland Raiders were going to draft me with no film. And I didn't even do that well at my combine, my pro day, because I had a regular, the coach, the staff was coaching me. Training. I should have trained with a professional person. They were going to draft me, and my agent told me, I had threw a draft party and everything. My agent told me that they ended up passing on me on draft day. My agent told me it's because the coaches badmouthed me so bad that they didn't want to take a chance on me, given the fact that I left the team, even though I'm as talented as I was. So that was a whole shenanigans. But I have to say, man, I'm still kind of bitter, and I thought that I in my heart I wanted to forgive the coaches for that. But it's hard for me to forget. I haven't reconciled that. Like, we were losing games, and the dudes that played football in front of me sucked. They sucked. They weren't good. They weren't really competitive. And you got a guy that's in me that ran a 4.3 and a 40. That's 6. I think I was 6'2", 220 pounds. And I'm the best player on the defense. And and they wouldn't refuse to put me in the game because of whatever little vendetta they had. And like I said, we had running backs that were great. We had wideouts that were great. We had defensive backs that were good. And they had a vendetta against certain people, and so they didn't play them. And we were losing and losing and losing and losing. And the morale on the team was just not very good because everybody was living in a twilight zone. Like, why is Adrian McCovey, why is Adrian McCovey not on the football field? There's a guy we had named Adrian McCovey. He knocked out, he would hit people so hard, they told him you can't hit people in practice. He knocked out 3 starting offensive linemen, concussions. Our starting offensive linemen, he knocked them out of practice. All had a concussion. One guy quit playing football. He got hit so hard by Adrian McCovey. The dude that had screws loose, but he was a football player. That dude never played. And of course, his attitude was poor. It was bad. He hated the coaches. No, Chris Henry, I don't think Chris Henry passed away. He's done with football, but I don't think he passed away. He wasn't a wide receiver. He was a running back. But I'm still mad at them a little bit. I'm still kind of mad. Like, every time I see Coach Mike Stoops or Mark Stoops, every time something happening, I'll be like, that's what they get. When Mike Stoops got fired from OU, he got fired from Arizona, which I was like, that's what he get. He was a bad coach. His brother, he ended up getting to Oklahoma, and they fired him from Oklahoma. And I'm like, that's what he get. I still haven't recovered from how they treated me at the University of Arizona. I still haven't recovered from it. And then Coach Mark was his brother. He's the coach at Kentucky. They had some good seasons, and they lost some big games. And so I'm like, I want them to lose, and that's not good. I pray about it, but I want them to lose for what they did to me. But however, a part of me believes that God had a different plan for me, And then there's another part that's like Chris Henry. I think y'all may be talking about a different Chris Henry. There's a wide receiver Chris Henry that passed away, I think. Then there's the running back Chris Henry that played with me. He did. As far as I know, he didn't pass away. He played for the Tennessee Titans. He didn't play anymore. So if people keep saying Chris Henry passed away, I'm gonna have to pull up the real Chris Henry. I'm not talking about the guy that played for the Bengals. I'm talking about the guy that played on football with me. So, but y'all pray for me, man. That's one thing that I still dream about today. And I'm being completely transparent with y'all. Pray for me. One thing I still have never let go. I don't think I've let it go. I said I did, but then it comes back. I have dreams about it even to this day. It's like I got PTSD about the way I was treated at the University of Arizona football. Not school. It was great. School was great. The teacher was great. Council was great. Everybody was great. Football. I mean, people have no idea how hard it was for me to be as much of an athlete as I was. I played with all Deshaun Jackson in high school. We were all Americans. Deshaun Jackson, Adamakin Sue. We go there. Mark Sanchez was one of our quarterbacks. Marlon Lucky, I don't think he played. Jonathan Stewart, Jamal Charles. All these dudes we played in the U.S. Army All-American game. All of us are NFL quality players. All of them dudes played, and I'm sitting on the bench thinking like, I think I went to the wrong school. And I blow everybody out of the water and my numbers and everything, and the coaches are just so disrespectful. I couldn't handle it. They would cuss you out and MF you and yell. Coach Stoops used to yell at the other coaches in front of their wives. Like it were out of control, man. And I couldn't handle somebody talking to me like that. Like, I mean, I would be ready to fight. Like, bro, what you talking about, bro? My dad don't even talk to me like this, which was partially my fault. But I'm like, I always dream I had one more season. That's my dream, one more season. Because if I would have left University of Arizona and I would have played anywhere in the country, one full season, I would have been drafted in the first round. And you talk about first round draft picks, you make millions of dollars. Millions of dollars were thrown away because I had beef with these coaches who, they weren't, it's all a myth, man. They weren't good coaches. Somebody said PTSD not. You can get PTSD from a lot of different things. And post-traumatic stress, 5 years of humiliation and stress will cause you to have PTSD associated with certain things. PTSD is not limited to you going to war. Like you can have an environment where you have created post-traumatic stress. It was traumatizing to be a young 18-year-old dude and your whole heart and your life is in football, and you're just watching it crumble year after year after year and living in this environment of just lies where everybody's fake and nobody's telling the truth, and somebody has a vested interest in this guy playing, so everybody's know that it's wrong, but nobody's saying anything. Oh, this guy's a good football player, and you're like, everybody knows that this guy sucks. Why are y'all still saying that this guy is a good football player? And just living in that environment for 5 years where everybody's lying. And you go to practice every day. You work hard, you go to practice, and they got you living in this weird reality where you're like, am I tripping? Like, am I not good? Am I not a good football player? Am I deceived? And you're not, but they're acting like you are. And you go and confront them, and they lie, and they can't tell you with a straight face. I recorded my coaches one time. because they were just doing so much crazy stuff. I said, nobody's going to believe me that they are just manipulating this and not putting me on the field. That's what everybody say. I recorded them. I went into the office. I recorded them. And the coach is telling me, you're the greatest player that I've ever coached. And that makes sense to me because I was one of the greatest players that athletically nobody was close to me. And so on tape, in his office, he's telling me, well, the only reason you're not starting is because these two guys play well together. Not because they're better than you, but they play well together. These two guys play well together. And we're losing games, but you're better than them. But these two guys, and if they keep messing up, you're gonna be a starter in the game. It's like, bruh, you just telling me that I'm the best. You're never gonna recruit another safety as athletic and as talented as I am, and you don't have me on the field. And we're losing all of our games. We're losing a lot of our games. It was people have no idea unless you were a football player and played on that team, you have no idea how traumatic that can be year after year after year after year. And it wasn't just me. That's the thing. Like, of course, I was mad at my own self. It wasn't just me. Layman Means was a safety. To be honest, I almost think Layman was better than me. Layman Means, you can look him up, Layman Means. He was 6'3", 230-some pounds. He was one of the fastest guys on the team. He could bench 315 like this, and he would knock people unconscious when he hit them. And Darrell Brooks was a starter too. Darrell Brooks and Layman Means were probably the top safeties in the country, but our team sucked, so they didn't get as much pub. And coach liked another guy, recruited him, brought him in, put Layman Means on the bench his senior year. And the guy, I watched him crumble on the inside. The dude was starting the year before. His senior year, he is an NFL football player. Put him on the bench. We lose games. We lost. We went 4-3-7 or something. I saw we had a guy named Michael Jefferson. Michael Jefferson was probably one of the best wide receivers I've seen play the football game. Coach put him on the bench. Michael Jefferson went to the NFL. He walked on to the Cowboys and ended up being a starter for a couple years. I think he started for a couple years. We're like, why did you put the man on the bench? And he is an NFL prospect. Chris Jennings. We had a guy named Chris Jennings on our team. He had a chance to play. Put him on the bench for a guy named Nicholas Grigsby. Nicholas Grigsby was not a NFL type running back. He was little. He wasn't going to play in the NFL. Chris Jennings was an NFL running back. Coach benched Chris Jennings, benched him for this other guy. Chris Jennings went on to play for the Cleveland Browns and was their top running back. I told you about Chris Henry. He was on the bench too to this other guy who never played in the NFL. This guy, Nicholas Grigsby, never played in the NFL. He never even saw an NFL uniform. The two guys that were behind him both played in the NFL. You can't make this up, man. This is the kind of stuff that was happening, and that's why the coach got fired. But I just had to say that. Like, you know, people that play football know what I'm talking about. Maybe other people are lost in translation, but people think, you know, you bitter. I am a little bitter, a little bit. I'm more successful than 95% of the people that I play football with. I'm more successful than probably 80% of the people that play the NFL that I play with. So I'm not really, it's not a jealousy of anybody or anything like that. It's just that, dude, that was uncalled for stress in my life. And I still haven't recovered from it. And that's what it is. I still haven't recovered from it because I still have dreams about playing football. And so I really wish that these coaches, Arizona football is still a toilet. It is. I kind of wish that these coaches would, now that I'm grown and, I'm grown. I got kids. I mean, we've all kind of moved on. I want to voice my concern to them personally. Like, this is what you put me through, bro. Like, don't ever do this to a player again. Like, you don't do it to a player again, because you don't know how you're destroying players, because you just want to make money and you want to get to your next job, but you can destroy the spirit of a player. And you shouldn't do that. You go somewhere like Alabama, I guarantee you they don't do people like that. They all playing. They rotating 5 or 6 running backs. And then you got a team like ours that we lose every game and they got 1 running back. And they don't want none of these other guys to play. But Alabama is rotating 5 running backs. USC rotating 3 or 4 running backs. And we got 1 guy that suck, that we won't even let the other guys play. He hobbled off the field. They want to put him back on. But Alabama, Clemson, they rotating players all the time. They going back and forth with quarterbacks. And the teams that are losing are just, they coaches ain't got nothing. There's a part of me. See, somebody said they don't care unless he performs. The problem is that with that particular team, that people weren't even performing. If we were winning all our games and, people get lost in the cracks, I get it. But when we're losing and dudes are fumbling the ball, and the dude that they had starting at safety in front of me, and then they put him in front of everybody that they wanted to put him in front of so he would never have to compete. He had 1 interception in his entire career. 1 interception. 3-year starter in the Pac-12 Pac-10 had 1 interception. And it was because they threw a Hail Mary at the end of one of the games and he got an interception. It's no way that you can play college football as a safety and have 1 interception in your entire 3-year career as a starter. But they managed to do it. They did it. We lost. They got fired. And, it was crazy. Aaron Simmons, shout out to Coach Ed. Now, Coach Ed, I love Coach Ed. Coach Ed was the only thing that kept our team together. I think that's my personal opinion. Coach Ed was our strength and conditioning coach. Black dude. He was the only thing I think that kept our team together. Our coaches has just lost the players. I mean, I think they lost the players. Nobody trusts. I mean, I didn't trust them. I thought they were all frauds. Coach Ed used to keep it together, and of course we saw him more because we worked out every day. But it was just it just blew my mind at what happened. However, I said all that to say, it's still, to this day, it still bothers me. I still look back and be like, I can't believe that I didn't transfer. My 5th year, I could have transferred without sitting down. I could have went to any university after that. I had all kind of colleges looking at me, and I said, I'm not going to transfer. I'm going to trust God is going to open the door in my last year. And every time I think back, and my agent was telling me, and he would shoot me straight. He would never, that dude wouldn't lie to me. I hated hearing from him because he would tell me the truth too much. I'll never forget him telling me, he called me on the phone. My agents called me on the phone. He represented me because he knew that I was a great athlete, but he did not think I was going to play in the NFL. He said, you're going to have to start somewhere else. You're not going to play in the NFL. Too bad. And I accepted it. I said, you know what? You know better than me. You represent me. You represented me. You know better. He never had nothing positive to say. He was always real. You're not going to play in the league. You quit the team. You don't have no film. You're not playing in the NFL. Don't even think about it. It doesn't matter that you're great. It doesn't matter that you're an athlete. You have no film, whatever. And he called and he said, Oakland Raiders are going to draft you. They called me today. He was excited. I couldn't even believe it was the same person talking to me on the phone. He said, they going to draft you. They going to draft you. Congratulations. You know, maybe your prayers paid off. They're going to draft you. And then when they didn't draft me and all that, he said, man, I'm going to be honest with you. And I hate that this happened to you because it happens to players all the time. If you would have played one season anywhere in the country with your athletic ability, you would have been drafted in the first round. And I'm just like, and I know that to be true. I know I would have got drafted in the first round. But when you live and you go through and you see the draft come up and you see guys getting drafted in the first round and dudes getting drafted, you're like, dang, man. It's really hard to watch sometimes because I really believe if I would have been able to get my full potential, I would have got drafted. Somebody said people are rude. It's funny because I don't care what people say in the comment section, to be honest. I don't see anybody say anything, but I don't care. I don't care. This is how I feel about my channel and everything. I don't care. I say what I feel like saying, and if you like it, you will watch it. If you don't like it, you won't watch it. I don't have to impress anybody. I'm B. Tatum, so 1.6 million people like B. Tatum, and there's whatever million people don't. I don't care. So, and if I feel like telling my story, and I feel like venting on my YouTube channel, that's what I'm gonna do. And somebody out there will, they may learn something from what I said, or they may understand what I'm talking about, but it was, anyway, that to me is for other people who are out there that deal with this stuff, trauma and stuff like that of past dealings, is that this stuff really happens. Like football is a really tough thing to endure for anybody, even if you in the NFL, like it can be very tough. Don't let bad thought creep in. Let's see. What happened when you walked out to the Eagles right? What happened then? What happened when you walk onto the Eagle right? I don't know what you're talking about. I was Tatum Love talking about college football. Keep talking and listening. Yeah, man, college football was interesting. Let's see. Somebody said, Tatum, I talked to ABL yesterday live. I know I need to have a call-in thing. I just, I'm afraid to give this number out because then I don't want people calling me all times of the hour. The new Arizona coach would welcome you back to walk onto the team if you can round it. Like, man, I can't play no football now, man. I'm so out of shape. I'm 260 some pounds, man. I used to be 220. I'd be a lineman right now if I play. I probably could still run, but I'll be a lineman. Let's see. Somebody said PTSD is real. Man, PTSD is real, man. And that's the problem, that people suffer from PTSD from different things that they don't necessarily think they can get PTSD from. Like, you can get PTSD from relationships. You can really be scarred and have trauma from relationships with people. Like if you had a bad divorce and it, like the way it ended was really bad, or you got into a big fight and like a physical fight in your divorce, and you can become traumatized. And people don't deal with it because they think post-traumatic stress is only military and police. It's like, no, you can have post-traumatic stress from a relationship, a marriage, and people are walking around broken. Now, my little football thing is only personal. Like, I don't know if it affects me because I forget about it half of the time because I'm so successful now. But I guess if I was eating out the trash can, I'd be even more upset. But since I'm successful, I'm like, it doesn't really matter to me. But like, people can really get in these relationships and really somebody said 260 pounds of good loving. People can get in these relationships and really get messed up, man. And then they try to move on and like, oh no, I'm fine. Their divorce was not bad. And then they just destroy every relationship they have with everybody else because they messed up. You can be like football. You can have a traumatic experience in football, and you can never watch football again without reliving all of the stress and just this whole like I could tell I got post-traumatic stress from football because I dream about it all the time. I mean, it's been, I graduated in 2010. It's been 11 years, and I have more post-traumatic stress than I did as a police officer. That's how serious it is. Like, being a police officer didn't really faze me. Like, I saw a lot of crazy stuff, life and death a few times, whatever. It kind of gets you just see the world differently. But football scarred me. It really did. Like, I still dream about it today. Like, I probably had a dream 2 nights ago about I was on the football field and I had another chance, and like right before the game I wake up, and I'm telling you, man, like that's another avenue in which I wish I could have influence is young college football. Like, I would love to go speak to these players and allow them to see it from a particular perspective, so they don't fall into what I did. For them to, find out their worth and like life outside of football, and how to navigate. If you ended up if you're a good player like I was, and you find yourself in a really tumultuous situation for you, you should transfer. Like, don't be afraid to transfer. Like, I was afraid to transfer. I was afraid to start over. I didn't want to leave my church. And like, young people that are gifted, they should transfer. There's a lot of guys who transfer and go. The running back from Oklahoma, Sermon, transferred to Ohio State and got drafted in I think his first or second round as a running back. He wasn't even gonna play at Oklahoma. He went to Ohio State, and then he got drafted in the first round or something. Trey Sermon or whatever his name was. So, those things are true. PTSD can come in so many forms. I'm an ER nurse, and a lot of the emergency medical people who develop PTSD, including me. It sucks. It does, man. Like, PTSD happens when you were wronged and there is nothing you can do about it. True. And like you let it pass you and you can never go back and fix it. Like, I think a person would have PTSD if they were driving drunk and they crashed a car and killed their friend. Like, that will probably mess you up for the rest of your life, because you can never get what do they call it? Closure. Because that person is dead. You can't take it back. It is done deal forever. And forever will a person probably think, if I wasn't drinking, that person would be alive. If I had to put the drink down, that third drink I drank, that person would be alive. If I had just ordered an Uber like they told me to, the person would be alive. You can just destroy who you are. Now that I think about it, I probably could use going to counseling for that. I'm too tough to go to counseling. I think it's important to say this. My wife always tell me, you sometimes it's okay to go to counseling for things. And I'm like, man, I can handle it myself. I don't need nobody trying to brainwash me into convincing myself not to live out these true painful experiences. However, I may even think about it, because I dream about every other night for 11 years that I had one more chance to play football, one more chance. And funny thing is, I tried out for the NFL when I was a police officer. A lot of people don't know that. I tried out for the NFL when I was a police officer. Some scouts wanted to see me perform. I showed up, and I ran the 40 and did all that. Of course, nobody picked me, but it was fun for me and my homeboy. He's a firefighter and I'm a police officer, and they had a pro day. There was some, obviously people knew we were great athletes. Some NFL scouts said, what the heck, let's see what they got. And me and my firefighter friend, we up in there competing, and we did good, man. But you ain't got no film in 5 years. You're not gonna have a chance. I did, however, turn down semi-professional football for the police department. I could have played semi-professional football, semi-pro. The Omaha Nighthawks wanted to invite me to the mini camp and sign me, but I ended up choosing to be a police officer, which, it was a lot more stable for me. Like, football was not yielding anything. Yeah, I mean, I probably got all kind of stuff going on with me from childhood or whatever. Um, monetize your haters. Yeah, they on here making me money, so I don't care. Um, I think a lot of people do though. You know, there could be stuff from policing that bothers me that I don't know. You know, or that I feel, or maybe I cover up my emotions. Like it's a lot of things that like, you know, when you ain't got no money to pay for it, of course it's like I don't need counseling. But who knows, man? It could be some trauma from relationships or whatever that still affect you. You should have gone to the AFL. Yeah, man, it's more drama with the NFL too that I didn't mention, but like I trained for a whole year. I went to a tryout. I had an NFL tryout, and they had the NFL lockout. The day of my tryout was an NFL lockout, and so they couldn't see any free agents, and that was like, well, I can't win, man. I trained for a whole year, and I get to the day of my tryout, and it's NFL lockout. They told me I cried, man. I ain't gonna lie, I cried, man. It was I had put $400 I saved up. $400, bought a flight to Arizona from Texas. I was training with my brother in Texas. I knew I was gonna run a 4.3 and a 40. I was like, I was ready to go, man. I was stretching. I had prayed the night before. I said, God, this is my second opportunity. I'm gonna wow these scouts. I'm gonna go get drafted. I mean, I'm not gonna get drafted. I'm gonna sign free agent and NFL lockout. And I'm sitting at the gate, and I'm like, I'm going in here anyway. They said, you can't come in here. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't. We can't watch free agents. And I cried, man. I cried like a baby. However, I do think that maybe that's God sending me in this direction. Sending me in this direction. And I've been incredibly successful. I've done things that I would never imagine doing. You know, and like I said, a lot of dudes that play in the NFL that at one point bothered me, I'm like, I'm more successful than dudes that play in the NFL. I'm more popular or well-known than guys that I know that play in the NFL. They have no reach. Nobody even know who they are. They say stuff, it don't matter. I've been able to give away more money than I ever dreamed of making in a day in my life. Like, I've given away more than I would have made in 6 years, my 6 years of salary. No, let's see. I made $50,000 a year times 6. That'll be $300,000, I think, if my math is right. So I've given away twice as much as I would have made. So I would have made 12 years of my income I've given away to police officers. And I say I mean we, collectively. I could have put that money in my pocket and been like, you know what? But we've given away just about. I not that much. Let's see. We've given away 6 years worth of, I think I'm exaggerating, just me, not including Blexit and Turning Point and I like when all the stuff I was involved in, but just me, my brand, whatever. We've given away over $300,000, which would be 6 years of my police salary. My whole career. All the money I made in my career, we've given it away in a year and a half. And that's not nothing to really, that's not me trying to point the finger at me. That's saying, look at what God can turn things into. You know, the football thing was bad, man. But when you talk about, no, I forgot Sakaria Turner. So I forgot Sakaria Turner. So we gave away almost, hold on, let's see. 150, 50, 100. So we've given away almost $300,000 to police officers. When you talk about Sakaria Turner, the people on this channel donated like $300,000 to Sakaria Turner by itself. So that's like $600,000. I knew I had the $600,000 in my mind. So overall, that's like $600,000 that have been given away from just me. We're not going to talk about Blexit, where we gave away $500,000 to support businesses that have been destroyed by BLM. That was $500,000 that we gave away. So I've been a part of giving away over $1 million in the last 2 years. And that is amazing, man. And you know, maybe football wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always pray to God that I forgive these people, but it's just, I don't know. I just haven't been able to really do it because I still think about it. I still get mad when I see these coaches and stuff like that. I still feel some type of way when I see the NFL draft. We need a channel for positive police body cams. That is good. I'm going to try to, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try to do that. Yeah, I mean, we've given away, and that's not including how many lives that we've changed because of the things that we do, but just give away money. I mean, we've donated. We've donated, if that makes sense. I say give away, I mean donated, whatever you want to call it. Somebody said, I think somebody said, so what happened after the lockout, the NFL lockout? What happened in lockout? Did they get to? No, when the NFL locked out, like they were locked out for a period of time and the opportunity was gone. Like they it came and went. So at the pro day where we were scheduled to work out, once they left the pro day, you lost your opportunity. You know, you had to find a way to come back around some other way. And me and my brother actually went to like a tryout or something, like a semi-pro tryout. It was like a semi-pro teams would watch you work out. And if they like you, they'll call you. And you don't need an agent, really. You know, my cousin was going to be my agent for Omaha because he lived in Nebraska. But the Omaha Nighthawks, they called my cousin and was like, oh, they called my cousin or us. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. And they were like, hey, they want to invite you to the mini camp, man. They want to invite you to the mini camp. And I knew they were going to sign us when they invited us to the mini camp. But I said, at the same time I had put in for the police department, I said, you know what, God, like, and I got to say, it was another guy who's a multimillionaire who mentored me during this process, which was a blessing. And from the things he said to me, it made me realize that maybe I should pursue something that would yield me results. And I had to walk away from football, and I became a police officer. And that changed my life, man. And I probably would have been a Colin Kaepernick if I'd have still played football. You know, so I got to go to bed. I got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing? Yeah. Somebody said, what's all a lie? Oh, you talking about my title. I'll tell you, I need to give Tebow a call. I need to give Tebow a call. Like, I think that the funny thing is, I think that I don't even want nothing to do with playing football. You know, at this point, why would I beat my body up? You know, like, them guys have got permanent brain damage. Let's see. Yeah, guy had other plans. Let's see. Yeah, I do. I gotta get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight. And I'm going to Tennessee and coming back same day. Same day. I'm going to be up from 4 to midnight tomorrow, all day. I got stuff all day. Some good stuff could be coming from this, right? I'll be in Tennessee. And I'm going to have some conversations with a few people. And maybe God got some more blessings for your boy. We shall see. And I will let you know if something comes of my little rendezvous in Tennessee. Somebody said, you're a pro either way. I mean, I'm blessed, man. Man, I got a wife. We got kids. I got my son, my oldest son, my youngest baby. Craziest 2 left shoes. And just blessed, man. Just really blessed. And this energy drink may blow up. I got videos to make, man. I need to get up out here. You going to see ABL? Nah, he lived further from where I'm going. He lived too far from where I'm going, I think. All right, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you. Hope that what I said helped somebody. I know I'm looking over here the whole time. Y'all probably looking at me like, what is this dude looking at? I'm looking at the chats over here. Take your energy drink. I know I don't have it. I drank all the samples that we had from the formulators. I drank all the samples. I was just downing them. And, now I got to wait till it goes to production in order to get the actual bottle. So they may send some more samples if we ask them, but I don't have any. Once the production come, I'll have the bottle in my hand. I'll chug it right here on the live stream so y'all can see. But anyway, I love you guys, man. I got a couple videos to make so I can release them tomorrow. And I'll see you guys later. Thank y'all, Tatum Squad people. Love y'all. Scott, thank you so much. All my mods, appreciate you. All the people that supported me, thank you. And I hope somebody got some out the channel.